Goes the Culture variety show at Vintage Villains.
WPCD Champaign, the time is currently like 8:05. Yeah, 8:05, that's good enough. You're listening to Rabbit Talk Radio, the only talk show here on 88.7 WPCD, and the only college demographic talk show in Champaign-Urbana. I'm Ben Johnston.
And I'm Austin Pontius.
And we have an interesting show today.
Oh, we're going to have an awesome show today. It's going to be great.
Why don't you tell us about it, bud?
Well, we're going to be doing some promos for the Dark History and Horror Convention, which is July 28th and 29th, which is the last Friday and Saturday of July. Put on by our good friends Ripper the Clown and Brian Ward, who will probably most likely be here a little bit later, but right now we got a lot of guests in here. We got Ripper the Clown, of course, and some musicians. If you guys wanted to...
Thank you for having me. That's right. I am Ripper the Clown, the unpredictable cartoon character come to life. I'm glad to be back. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming back. We had a blast last time.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was one of the funnest interviews I've done. And I do have to say, like, Dark History Con's all Brian Ward's gig.
Oh, is it?
Yep, I'm just a guest.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Never mind, I had that wrong.
That is not a Ripper the Clown production, but there is a Ripper the Clown production this weekend, July 22nd, Saturday night, at Vintage Villains, downtown Danville. We are returning with Pop Goes the Culture 3 variety show. And this is going to be an absolutely amazing show. Doors open at 7, show at 8. $8 tickets in advance or 10 at the door. We've got 19 performers because somebody dropped out. And we've got 19 performers at this time. We may round up another performer in the interim. Everyone will receive 4 minutes on stage, and you, yes, you, I'm pointing at you, but you can't see me because it's radio. But trust me, I'm pointing at you. You be the judge and the jury. You could boot performers from stage if you don't like somebody. It's going to be an amazing show. It's the most audience interactive show that you will find in this area.
Now, compared to like Brouhaha, like 1 through 5, like, what's the variety show? Like, what's something that they'd expect to see? Like, if you don't mind, like spelling.
Oh yeah, we've got. This is probably the most eclectic roster that we've ever had. We've got comedy, we've got musicians, we've got a magician, a ventriloquist. Just an amazing roster. With the Brouhaha comedy shows, it's basically 5 comedians over, you know, a 2.5 hour time span. This one's 20 different performers, not just comedy, just a wide variety of things, hence the term variety show, where anyone can get up there. They could be a veteran, they can be on stage 100 times, they can be on stage 1 time. This could be their very first time.
Awesome, awesome.
So this show is for everyone?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
It's like what do you call it? Like a potluck of performers.
Yes, yeah, it is. Yep. And again, audience interactive. If the 3 audience members do not like a certain performer, they could boot them from stage. The performers who survive, at the end of the night, the audience will vote. And I have, let's see how much in prizes, $1,595 and, correction, $1,219.85 worth of prizes for performers, and a total of $1,595.85 in prizes total, 376 of those going to the audience.
Wow, that's not bad at all.
Yep.
Definitely. That's this weekend.
That's this Saturday night. This Saturday night at Vintage Villains, downtown Danville. It's going to be an amazingly fun night. We've got just the performers on the show. To me, saying, in the past, the first show I actually predicted who was going to win, and that was, my prediction came true. With this one, it's hard telling who's going to win. There's such a great variety of people on this show.
It was a first-timer, wasn't it? One last time.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Chris Duncheon, he's on this show. He did stand-up comedy for the very first time, and he won first place.
He was at Brouhaha 5. Ironically,
He was.
He was one of my favorites. I loved him.
He was.
Loved him. I thought he was hilarious.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So because he won, and with the Brouhaha shows, I like to have the opening spot open to a rookie, someone who hasn't done comedy really, sometimes not at all, sometimes, you know, the first couple times on stage. It's just something I like to do. I like to give back to people and give them an opportunity to be on a good show. So at the last Brouhaha show that you attended, Chris Duncheon was the opening act, having just won the variety show back in October.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. Speaking of performers, we actually got 2 in the studio right now. If you guys want to introduce yourself, they're actually going to be playing some live music for us.
Hello, we are the performers. My name is Reece Niccum.
And I am Shawn Hosseini.
Yeah, and they will both be on the Pop Goes the Culture Variety Show 3 this Saturday night, and I thought I'd bring these guys along with me to give everyone a little sampling of what they'll hear Saturday night.
I'm gonna have Shawn introduce himself again. He kind of cut out a little bit. Sorry about that, man.
Okay. Am I on now?
Yeah, you're on now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Shawn Hosseini. Hello.
So they're gonna be doing some. I think the way that we discussed it is we're gonna do one live song for each hour, something like that.
Yeah,
We're gonna do
sounds
each
good.
one's gonna take an hour. I was thinking next break we can do some music. If that's cool with you guys.
Yeah.
Music courtesy of Shawn Hosseini.
Sure.
Awesome.
I'm excited
Awesome.
to hear it. So stay tuned for that if you're excited. And feel free to call in, by the way, with any song requests for us to throw in while you're waiting at 217-373-3790. Once again, that is 217-373-3790.
Awesome. Coming up here, we got some Set on Fire by Magic Giant, Shine by Collective Soul, and Grim Valentine by Dinosaur Pileup. Stay tuned to WPCD 88.7 where we learn, listen, and live. And we continue our awesome interviews.
Pop goes the culture variety show at Vintage Villains.
WPCD 88.7. It is 8:26 p.m. and you're listening to Rapid Talk Radio, and we have a full house today. It's an awesome show. We got Jake the Ripper. We got two performers, Reece and Shawn, who are about to do some music here on each of our hours. In the meantime, though, I got a little bit of a question for you, Jake.
Yeah.
Ripper.
Yeah, Jake's not here. Where is
Yeah,
he?
I know. It's not thinking straight.
He's out getting a drink of water, I think, using the bathroom.
So how do you think the audience is doing when you think you do like a judge and jury kind of thing with us?
Yeah, with the Pop Goes the Culture variety show this weekend, the audience is going to be judge and jury. It's totally audience interactive. That means that if you're at the show and you don't like a certain performer, you can come up, and if three audience members come up during a performance, they can boot that performer from stage. Their act is done. Now each performer is going to have 4 minutes, so if you could survive that 4 minutes, then you go on later and the audience will pick overall winners at the end of the night.
It's like one big game show. Almost.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's totally audience interactive. Everyone always has a good time, and would you like to know how the audience members can kick performers off stage?
Yeah, absolutely.
If 3 audience members come up and they honk Ripper the Clown's honky horn, then that performer is off stage.
Fair game. Fair
Yes.
game. I'd take that over tomatoes any day.
Yeah, and it's funny. The first Pop Goes Culture variety show we did, the audience, they were brutal. They booted pretty much everyone. Shawn was there.
They were brutal.
Yeah, they did not like most of the performers that night, and they got rid of everyone really quickly. I think it was over half the first segment of the show before someone actually survived.
Out of about how many people could you guesstimate?
You mean audience members or performers?
Performers.
I believe there were 20 that night.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
So that's wow.
The first half of the show they booted pretty much everyone through the first half of the show, so to speak.
They're picky.
And the last show, not a single person got a horn the entire night.
Wow.
No one.
They even let me go through.
They
See,
did.
that's almost disappointing. Not on you, not on Reece, but
Like, I kept telling everyone, not in a bad way, but you could use the horn if you would like it.
yeah,
You know,
it's fun. It's a gimmick.
Yeah, so it's just, every show is different with the audience. You know, that first show, the audience was just in a bloodthirsty mood. They wanted to boot people from stage. And in that second show, the audience was kind. So we'll see how they do with this, on the show this Saturday night. We'll see if they, if anyone honks the horn.
See, that's a troubling time to have a tough crowd.
Yeah, yes.
Really, it is. Like, because when you usually have a tough crowd, it's like, oh man, like I really hope they can interact like, the way that I want them to. But when they actually have that level of interaction, if you have a tough crowd, it's going to be a real short show.
Yeah. And you know what? I did feel kind of bad for a few of the performers that first show because they were really good acts, such as Shawn. And
I'm awesome.
And modest.
And yes,
Incredible.
very humble. You're very humble, Shawn Hosseini. That deserve to move on and go forward. And my friend Sarah got booted. She was singing a song, and the guy came up, and I asked why they booted them, and the guy was like, "Because your song's not funny." And I still remember Sarah saying, "It's not a comedy show."
Right, it's a variety
it's a variety show.
Yeah,
I didn't think I needed to whip out the dictionary, give everyone a definition at the beginning of the show. But
Variety is in bold print.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, on all the promotional material. So
I mean, I got that straight away from when you described it. It's the potluck of performance.
It is.
You don't know what you're going to get.
it
That's
is
the fun of it.
It is, and may I run down the big roster that we have?
Yeah, go for it.
We've got a few Vintage Villains rookies. These people aren't rookies to the stage by any means, but they're just making their Vintage Villains debut this Saturday night, July 22nd at Pop Goes Culture. We've got Andrew Tiede doing comedy. Joel Shoemaker, he's a magician. He's amazing. Flyn Williams, I believe she'll be singing, and she really rocked the house at Funny Girl back a few months ago, from what I've heard. John McMahon, he's a musician out of Champaign. He's a great guy. Matt Sylvain, a comedian out of Champaign. Billy Kurtz, I believe she'll be singing. Zach Curley, he'll be singing. And Zach Curley actually performed at the Saturday morning Summer Sounds and Farmers Market, downtown Danville, across from Cafe 13 a few weeks ago.
Sounds
Maybe we can
familiar.
talk about that later. Yeah, Reece did too. And we've also got Mel Hoax, a musician from Danville. This guy is amazing. He actually performed last weekend at Saturday morning Summer Sounds and Farmers Market. It kind of...
Wow, this must be a poppin' place.
And you know what?
I've
It's,
never heard of it.
musicians just, I book one musician for the show to kind of like headline, and other musicians show up and they just jam. And it's just an amazingly fun time for everyone.
Yeah, and get together
Yeah.
and everybody puts on their show.
Yeah.
and that's
So,
awesome.
little plug for Saturday morning Summer Sounds and Farmers Market every Saturday morning from 9 to 1, across from Cafe 13 at the Kresge Plaza,
How long does that go on, like throughout the summer?
through September 30th, every
September
Saturday.
30th.
Yep.
Okay.
And then back to the Pop Goes Culture Variety Show, we've got some Vintage Villains favorites returning. Albert King, who'll be doing ventriloquism with Nigh Heart. We've got Elizabeth Staggs doing comedy. Larry Smith, he'll be doing comedy. He's a brilliant comedian out of Springfield. He placed at the last Pop Goes Culture Variety Show.
He was at Bruja 5.
He was.
as well.
He was
Yeah,
at Bruce Hall 5,
hilarious.
yes. We've got the Third Wheels performing. They're an amazing music act. They've been performed everywhere, CI Living, and of course Shawn Hosseini, who's sitting here with us tonight.
Hello again.
He'll be doing musical comedy. We've got DJembe Jake. He'll be performing music. He shows up regularly at Saturday morning Summer Sounds. Heroin will be doing comedy. Aaron Martin, he'll be doing comedy again. He was at Brew Hall 5. Alan Lewis will be making his triumphant return to town after leaving approximately 9 months ago. He'll be doing comedy. Reece Niccum,
Oh, not that guy.
yeah, that guy.
Come on.
Everybody hates that guy.
He'll be performing. Superlative musician, and I have to say, one of my favorite people to work with.
Hey, you're one of my favorite people. to work
Well,
with.
thank you, thank you, sir. Seriously, one of the most professional, kindest performers I've met, and I can't say that about everybody in this business because it's
It's hit or miss with
it
performers.
is,
Yeah.
it
It's
is,
a good thing we're
and
on the radio, so nobody can see this chair.
Aw.
We all got faces for radio.
The clown tier, the Ripper the Clown has a clown tier. Seriously, you are one of the most professional performers I know, and it's always a joy to work with you. And of course, we've got Chris Duncheon. He is the defending and reigning Pop Goes Culture World Heavyweight Champion. Shawn Hosseini, I know you're a good friend of Chris Duncheon's. Are you not?
Yeah, I guess.
Do you? I know that in this battle royale of entertainment, that there aren't going to be any friends. You're going to have to put your friendship aside during this night. Do you have any words? Do you have any words to throw out there to Chris Duncheon? Are you going after his title on Saturday night? Because I know that you believe that you are a top contender to his title.
I love you, buddy, but I'm coming for you. I'm gonna get you where it hurts.
And we've got Shawn Hosseini. He's going to perform, I believe, the song he's going to do on Saturday night at Pop Goes Culture. It's Shawn Hosseini performing his comedic masterpiece, Danville Girl.
That's correct. All right. Does that work? There we go. All right. We're ready? Ready for this? Okay, hang on. Let me get comfortable real quick. Sorry. Alrighty. You and say, 'cause there's not much in the world. Danville girls, how much in the world. Danville girl, red light, shot to the ball was real big. Spoke up just to stay shade to get some chili. Been through the rail town, changing our movies. And maybe later we'll try and catch a movie. It's not much in the world. Danville girl, how much in the world. Danville girl, maybe we try to spare rooms. Blazing the whitest music video. Screaming all different kinds of racist slurs. Just to see if we survive the cruise. 'Cause there's not much in the world. Danville girl, how much in the world. Danville girl, whereas we will just become prostitutes. Single and have sex anyway, then we might as well be getting for rent. 'Cause it's not like we can get a decent job in this town. Why not try to make a profit out of getting around? Come on, girls, let's go party. Let's go wasted and then sell our bodies. Come on, girlies, let's go degrade ourselves. There's just not a lot to do in Danville. There's not much in the world. Danville girls, how much in the world. Danville girl, not much in the world. Danville girls, how much in the world. Danville girl. Thank you.
Where was she from?
Which one? I've actually never dated a girl from Danville, and that is part of the reason why.
Wow.
I would have thought different.
Good thing we're on Champagne Radio.
Yeah. Champagne ladies, if you're interested.
Champagne ladies are where it's at. You rock, girls.
And that's a song that Shawn Hosseini will be performing this Saturday night at Pop Goes Culture Variety Show at Village Villains.
Now you got me tripping you
From
up.
That's
Danville.
right.
Too many
That's
names.
right. In Danville, downtown Danville.
Thank you very much, Sean. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was.
Thank you.
I wonder if the lady attendants will, how that will be affected.
I played it for girls from Danville, and they absolutely loved it, so I don't know. Maybe they don't associate with it.
Sean, you a single guy?
I am, actually.
So call us at 373-37. I'd like to be a champagne girl.
Yes.
Oh, awesome. We'll have more performers coming up here in the next second half of our hour. We also got some more stuff going on here with Dark History Con and the Variety Show here with Ripper the Clown. In the meantime, we got some music. We got High by Sir Sly. We got Something in the Water by Lottie, and many more to come. So stay tuned to WPCD 88.7, where we learn, listen, and live.
Pop Goes the Culture variety show at Vintage Villains.
88.7 WPCD Champagne. The time is currently 8:57, 58, 58:36. We have the second even, dude. Like, that's awesome.
On point.
Anyways, you're listening to Rabbit Talk Radio, the only talk show here on 88.7 WPCD Champagne, and the only college demographic talk show in Champaign-Urbana. I'm Ben Johnston,
And I'm Austin Pontius.
and we've got quite the show to continue.
Yes, we do. This is probably like one of our busiest shows I think we've ever had.
I enjoy
We've had full houses before, but not everybody taught.
Yeah. So, let's go ahead and get into
We definitely
some
have a
stuff.
full house. It's like a freaking clown car. People just keep coming out. It's,
Yeah.
Ripper the Clown, ladies and gentlemen. Ripper the Clown. You can see him at the variety show
That's
this
right.
weekend.
That's right. This Saturday night, July 22nd, Pop Goes Culture Variety Show, returning to Vintage Villains. And, earlier I mentioned all the sponsors, all the prizes. The audience will be voting on the top 4 acts of the night. We'll have $1,219.85 worth of prizes, 2 performers, $376 worth of just, giveaways for the audience. And the community has really embraced all the shows that I've done, especially this one, because in the past we've had great amounts of prizes, but this is the most, total like $1,595.85. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It makes me feel good that like the community appreciates what I do, and they enjoy what I do, and they want to support that.
If it's not too much of a spoiler, you don't have to answer it if it like affects your show. Just out of curiosity, like, is that all like cash prizes? Or
No. We have a variety of prizes here. First, I want to say our main sponsor is Barber Shop in Westville. Joe Phelps, he's an awesome guy. He has supported me pretty much since day one. And Barber Shop is a great place to go. It's the only place that my grandpa will go. Ripper the Clown has a grandpa. It's the only place that he will go for his haircut. And I've talked to people in Champaign who drive all the way over to Westville to get their haircut from Joe. So he's an awesome guy, and he has a great staff there. But the prizes for the show, furnished by, I think we've got like 13 sponsors. We've got Anytime Fitness in Tilton. They gave us 30 coupons to give to the audience when they come in. First 30 audience members through the door get a free week at Anytime Fitness, and then also coupons for the winners that night. And we've also got RP Lumber in Westville. They're one of our sponsors. Vintage Villains, of course, that's our home. Vintage Villains, so of course they're going to sponsor the Pop Goes Culture Variety Show. Heartland Fair and Encore Shop, which is right downstairs from Vintage Villains. They're a sponsor too. We've got a variety of free bowling coupons courtesy of Lincoln Lanes. We've got a variety of, we've got like 10, I believe, 1 month coupons from Mobile 91 for unlimited cell service. So we'll be handing those out to some of the performers that night, and the audience will get some too. We've got Derek Sanders as a sponsor at Carmack Car Capital. When you go to Carmack Car Capital, ask for Derek Sanders. He's given us a plethora of free oil change and detailing coupons. Gold Rush Pawnbrokers, they've been amazing. They've sponsored, this is not their first show. And,
yeah, they sponsored Brouhaha.
They did, and they gave us an Xbox One as a prize.
Wow.
And then we've got Lori Day's Antiques and Uniques downtown Danville, Lato's Hardware in Westville. They're celebrating their 71st year in business. We've got children's books by Marianne Leposki-Budica. She gave us a children's book to give out. We've got Cafe 13 downtown Danville, and then Back Alley Creations also downtown Danville.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got quite the Is that all of them?
That's it. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, you got quite the sponsorships.
Again, in total, $1,595.85 in prizes. And I want to thank Reece for accompanying me there.
That was a beautiful background music.
That was.
That was a gorgeous music bed.
That was.
I'd like to get a
We will
copy of that
have
and
to
do
talk
news.
to you later so that we can throw that in this, because I liked that.
Yeah, that was awesome. I would totally use that for like a little
Right?
news or like fun stories.
Everything.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, even if it's like super sad, that's going in the background, man.
It just brightens the whole show, you know. If somebody tells you some bad news and there's no music, I mean, you're going to take it a lot harder than if you have a.
It really is.
You can't be mad at it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't
can't.
just sit there and have that playing and just be like angry. Like, I mean, that's going to change your mood as soon as you hear that.
And after I mentioned Anytime Fitness, he started, and I kind of paused there, so you have like maybe a 30, 45 seconds where you could just loop it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm sure I could. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, we could go rip that file.
I got to tell you, Reece is amazing. We mentioned earlier the Saturday morning Summer Sounds and Farmers Market happens every Saturday at Kresge Park across from Cafe 13 from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And at our very debut back in June.
Which I was so honored to be a part of.
Well,
Thank you so much for including me in that.
Thank you for being there. And so Reece shows up, and I told him to bring a chair, to sit on when he performs.
I don't own it. I'm in college living. I don't have a whole lot of stuff in my house, so I did not have a chair. I had an alternative.
He had a great alternative. He shows up, he's like, "Can I play on top of my car?" And he parks right in front of the market. I'm like, "Dude, do it. That's amazing." So we've got Reece on his red SUV, standing in the heart of downtown, cars going by, and he's playing songs, and then Djembe Jake comes up and he jams with him. It was just amazing.
It was a good time. It was great. And Djembe Jake really livened everything up with his djembe.
Yeah.
With the amount of things you can do with one pad and a hand. He really made it something else.
Yeah.
Now you're a regular over there, right? You're there like every
villains.
Over at the is it the Cafe 13?
The Saturday morning Summer Sounds and Farmers Market. He's only been at one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Djembe Jake, he shows up pretty much every week. He just jams with whoever's there, and other musicians just show up and just jam, and it's a great time.
It's a little bit of a haul for me to go every week, but
Yeah.
I would imagine, yeah, schedules lining up. But hey, we got room for you to do a piece now if you'd like to.
I mean, I already got the guitar in my hand.
Yeah,
guess
I mean, you kind of have to at this point.
Can't not do it. But all right, this one is actually a song that I'm recording here with Parkland's Perimeter Road Sound. Or I was recording it. It was coming on our sophomore album. It should be coming here in the fall semester at Parkland. This one's called Our Epiphany. We've started off in something we don't believe in, and people are wondering why we've fallen off the deep end. And I am afraid we'll get out of the light. And I do not believe anyone or anything will make it out of sane. We're waiting for any epiphany to bury our snakes. It's just a matter of time before someone will realize they've taken our houses, they've taken our homes, they've given us everything that never belongs. Well, our threats to us are disguised by protection. Well, maybe we're just too trusting into ourselves. Maybe at us, maybe at them. Well, I refuse to believe that we cannot facts, facts. And I do not believe anyone or anything will make it out insane. We're waiting for epiphany to bury our snakes. It's just a matter of time before someone will realize they've taken our houses, they've taken our homes, they've given us everything that never belongs. Oh, I will not die until I see the day when we can speak on our own behalf. On our own behalf. On our own behalf. Oh, I will not die until I see the day when we can speak fire free, live fire free, see for myself. I can now see they've taken our houses, they've taken our homes, they've given us everything that never belonged. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you.
I will have to thank Shawn for lending me the guitar since I did not realize I was performing tonight.
You are absolutely welcome, sir.
But awesome. Plays great as well. I do like it. I might have to borrow it for the show Saturday.
All right. It's a cheap $100 guitar.
Now you said you had that through Perimeter Road. Is that correct?
Yeah, we actually I normally perform with a trio, a Midwestern rock trio called the Dystopians from Georgetown, Illinois. which is more in Jake's or Ripper's neck of the woods. And no, we put out our debut album with a record company that I'm actually getting ready to intern with called SCP, and we came back, just immediately hit the road, started writing new music, and we had this compilation of just stuff we had put together, and I guess Dean and Adam and them kind of heard of us, and some students had suggested the band, so we decided to do some missions, and by sheer luck we got picked out of all the bands, and yeah, no, we finished that album at the beginning of this year, and we're just waiting for the next the fall semester, I believe, for them to get all mixed in.
Yeah, volume 2 and all that.
Yeah, and I believe if any of the students are listening, or I believe that this should be open to the public. There are talks of a release show that's actually going down, possibly here. Where do they do that stage down in the cafeteria?
Yeah, down there in the U wing in the student union, they got right there in the cafeteria. They got the big old stage. It's kind of off to the left hand there when you first walk in.
Yeah,
surrounded by all the glass windows. It's a good place to.
Yeah, they're talking about possibly doing a release there. I'm not sure if it'll be there. I know that we're definitely going to be planning some type of event for when it comes out, but. Yeah, it's been awesome working with Perimeter. Adam has been great. All the students have been great. And yeah, wouldn't have chosen any other one to go to.
Awesome. Congratulations, man.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
I appreciate that. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, man. I really am.
Hey, I'm proud of Jake over here. and your mother's artwork.
Oh, well,
I had to bring that up. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
I want her to do a piece on me. Like that would be incredible. Give her
My mother's
a
a tattoo artist.
Let her go crazy.
Why have I not heard about this? I've known Jake for a while. I did not know his mom did art.
Well, Jake's not here. Ripper.
Sorry. Reece is over here throwing me up.
I think Jake's still out in the bathroom, maybe. But yeah, Ripper the Clown's mom, she's an artist. She does children's books, and she writes and illustrates the children's books. The children's books are amazing, but at the same time, she does fine art, and it looks like photography. Really, she does classic cars. She does.
I was on top of my car playing, and she was showcasing it, and I nearly fell off the car. I was like, "Oh my lord!" I saw people flipping through some of the stuff, and they would
the print bin,
just show this beautiful piece of work. I was like, "What's the next lyric to my song? What?" Like, just totally flatlined my brain.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, she is amazing. She does amazing work. So thank you for saying that.
Talented family.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very talented.
I will pass those compliments along to Ripper the Clown's mother.
Everybody give it up for Ripper the Clown's mother. Also give it up for Old Sport by Steve Justice, Evermore by Granddaddy, and In Undertow. Also give it up for both of our awesome entertainers that did a piece today. You guys rock.
Thank you.
Stay tuned to WPCD 88.7. We're going to be going a little bit more into dark history and some horror stuff with our supernatural coming up here. We're going to do Brian Ward. We got some Ford County, for those of you that are familiar with it, some Ford County jail, some legends, and it'll be some fun to go in and hear some history on it. So stay tuned. I'll be coming up here within the next about 10-15 minutes.
Pop goes the culture variety show at Vintage Villains.
At 9:32 in the evening. It's night, actually. It's not evening. Who cares?
It all blends together.
Who cares about accuracy, am I right? So you're listening to Rapid Talk Radio, the only talk show here on 88.7 WPCD, and the only college demographic talk show in Champaign-Urbana. I'm Ben Johnston.
And I'm Austin Pontius.
And we're going to keep this show rolling with a little bit more interesting stuff.
Yeah, we're actually going to get down into some fundamentals of what we normally used to do. We're going to bring back our supernatural for the first time in what, like 2 months? 2-3 months? It's been a while. But we got a good one for those of you that are familiar with Ford County. There's a jail in there. We're going to be discussing some interesting little tidbit of history. So I'm gonna play my intro. Is that cool with you, Ben?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
I'm super proud of my intro and I love it.
My sister is obsessed with Kissing a Kid, by the way.
Dude, I love Kazoo.
Like, completely obsessed.
Imagine. Oh, I don't even know. It's spooky.
Spooky indeed. Oh, goodness. I have missed that.
I've missed that a lot. That's like my favorite part of this show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We need to start meeting again.
We do. We need to set up a regular time and start doing this again.
Why not this?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Today's actually the perfect day to do it, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But for now, we got Brian Ward with us, who puts on Dark History Con, which we will also get into that a little bit later. But for those of you wondering, July 28th and 29th at the, is it the Windhelm? Wyndham
Garden.
Wyndham Gardens Hotel,
Correct.
July 28th and 29th. That is the last Friday and Saturday of July. Definitely check it out. He has a ton of stuff going on. He's got vendors, he's got actors, you got people from The Walking Dead coming in.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be a great time. And it's 11 to 9 both days, correct?
It is. I moved it back 1 to 9 on Friday because I have a number of people that want to come in Friday to set up. So 1 to 9 Friday, 11 to 9 Saturday. And the big thing that everybody needs to know, because it's my giant selling point, there is no admission charge for this. I have over 70 vendor booths filled, actors, paranormal people, psychics, just a ton of stuff. I have a hearse club coming down from Chicago. Going to be bringing a few hearses.
Ripper the Clown will be there.
Ripper the Clown will be there.
I will also be there.
So that's a
Yes.
big selling point.
So it's, yeah.
Whoever wants to be a champagne girl, hit up Shawn.
Right, there you go, there you go. And yeah, it won't cost you a dime to come into the place.
That is a big selling point.
Yes.
Because usually when I'm looking for stuff, I'm like, oh, what's cheap or free?
Well, yeah, I mean, your Days of the Dead and things of that, I mean, you're talking, what, 30, 40 bucks a day and like
Yeah.
80 bucks for a weekend pass, something like that. This is my passion. I like doing this. I like seeing people excited about coming to these type of things. So while I am self-funded, basically, and don't have some of these gigantic, I don't have Norman Reedus from Walking Dead or anything like that, but I do have some people that you probably recognize. One of the gentlemen is Don Teams. He has played over 25 different walkers throughout the series.
Nice.
He's got a lot of screen time. He was in the, I believe it was season 4 when they were in the prison. He was always right along the fence. He got, I think he got either his head hacked off or cut in half by Michonne. So he's got some good screen time. so Don will be there Saturday only, I'm afraid. He's joining us from down by Atlanta. So
Oh, he's making a trip.
he's making a trip. And I guess just because I talk to everybody the same way I'm talking to you guys, I mean, I chatted with Don some, and he was like, yeah, I'd love to come up. Can you cover mileage? Yeah, no problem, brother. And
Awesome.
so Don's coming up for essentially mileage. Just
Yeah.
because he wants to be a part of it. So
Wow.
we're getting out there. We're getting, I have to say that most of our audience is, they do drive quite a bit. I've got a huge contingent of people coming from Louisville, Kentucky, starting to get over
Wow.
out in Chicago. One of my vendors is Licks. I don't know. I'm an old man, so I don't know how many people remember Licks from the early 90s, late 80s here in Champaign-Urbana. They were over Johnstown Center for a while. Jill still does all of her stuff, but does it online. They just went to, I believe it's called Crypticon in Kansas City last weekend. Took some of my promotional items down there and said people were already talking about it in Kansas City, of all places.
Wow.
This little place here in Champaign. So
I've
we're
been
getting
telling
there.
everybody
We're getting
I
there.
know.
I appreciate
Everybody.
That. I appreciate that, and I know that Ripper the Clown has a gigantic following, and Danville's his hometown, so we'll get that going too. I know he's got it covered. So
Now,
Doing good.
before we get into the spooky stuff,
Sure.
I just want to know, what's your most anticipated thing with Dark History Con? What are you looking forward to the most as being one of the? Well, I mean, you are the hoster, so
Right.
I mean,
this year, I've got a ton of interest from artists from all over that. I'm really excited about all the artists that will be here this year. This is definitely my most heavy event that I've done. And I've told each one of them that I'm not an art critic. I don't know anything really about any type of art except what I guess speaks to me, what I think. If I have a reaction to something that I see, then in my opinion, that's good art.
That's what art is.
That's what I thought. I mean, everybody that I know that's an artist is saying something. It speaks to me. I do it. I put it on paper. I have a hell of a time drawing a stick figure. So what these folks do just blows me away, and some of them just so ornate that it's unbelievable, and it's all forms. I've got one of the ladies that's coming has funeral photography, and she does all this, you know, these death photos and things that, so black and whites, canvas, pen and paper. It all just blows me away. Yeah, she asked if I thought it would be okay for her to bring a couple real headstones. I was like, yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely.
So
I mean,
she,
you got a hearse, you know,
yes,
coming in,
yeah,
like the hearse
at least one. I mean, she belongs to the Hardcore Hearse Club up in Chicago. The lady that's coming down, it's the only hearse club in the entire Midwest. So she's trying to get a bunch of her people to bring some stuff down.
It's not something you frequently hear people joining,
No.
but you know, that's cool. That's awesome.
No.
I'm definitely gonna be there.
Awesome.
Definitely, for sure.
So yeah, I mean, the celebrities are cool. Regular folks like us just appreciate everything. That's what I most look forward to.
Yeah, it's something that's inviting. It's free, no charge.
Exactly.
It's not gonna hurt you.
Exactly.
Everybody's gonna go have a good time. I'm definitely gonna be there.
Right.
I think it'd be a fun
And it's
thing
all
to do.
about accepting, you know, freaks, geeks, whatever we want to call ourselves. I'm one.
So
Clowns.
Boston.
Clowns.
Clowns.
Clowns. You don't have to be scared of the clowns.
That's
I might get a little sidetracked here, but Ben raised he just sent me into a flashback, and I don't think I ever talked to you about this, but one of the first, like, instances I ever had with Brian is Brian's one of my regulars. He comes in frequently, typically, like, before, during, after his shift, and he'll get miscellaneous things, you know, like pop soda, whatever, it doesn't matter. And one day he came in, and I greeted him, and the first thing he said to me was, "You look like just the kind of guy that I want to have around at my stuff."
Yeah.
And when he said that, he's in full uniform. He's in full police uniform. So when he said that, the first thing going through my head, like, my face just kind of like sunk for a minute. I was like, oh, my record's clean. Like, I've never been to jail. And then he's like, no, it's Dark History Con. And then, like, that's how I learned about all this stuff.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
good.
because your artwork, man, you got it all on your arm.
Yeah. I was the one being stereotypical on myself, and I just thought that was a funny story.
Yeah, and that's what I try to get past with all of this stuff. I mean, people do look at me. I keep my hair cut short. I don't have any piercings that are noticeable anymore. I had them back in high school. My tattoos all got to be covered by either my pants or my shirt. So I've got ink too, and I love all that stuff, but I don't look the part. Signs and designs. I got to throw a plug their way. They did all the posters up there in Paxton. And she told me that she was a little scared of the guy that was going to come in and pick these posters up, and then I was on my way to work, so I came in my uniform. She's like, "You're the horror guy." And I was like, "Yes."
You should said Ripper in his
Yeah, I should have. That's what I should have done.
And speaking of what you mentioned in the uniform and kind of stereotyping, I can't tell you. I've been pulled over by the cops so many times for being a clown.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
It's
always under like a completely ridiculously false pretense.
It's probably out of fear. We always fear what we don't know, and everybody's afraid of the clowns.
Yes.
Oh, the amount of people that don't like clowns. Yeah, it's unreal. I'm sure you get it all the time.
I do, but at the same time, people come up to me and they're like, and this happens more often than not. And you probably, because Shawn's been, he hangs out with me a lot. He's been in a lot of videos. We run into a lot of random people. So many people come up to me and they're like, I'm typically afraid of clowns, but I'm not afraid of you.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Aesthetically, it's not your typical clown. I'm not your average clown. So maybe, the Christmas lights or some aspect of the character makes people more at ease. People who are, afraid of clowns normally for whatever reason, if it's something in them where they're really genuinely afraid of clowns, or they're just going on the online fad where everyone has to be afraid of clowns, whatever it may be. Well, I have a good portion of people come up to me and say, for some reason, Ripper the Clown does not. They do not have a fear of Ripper the Clown. So it's kind of interesting.
It is, especially with a name like.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, right. But I think it's the lights. I think it's the sunglasses.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah,
I think you're all
it's
set very well.
personality.
Exactly. And it definitely. The first time I met Ripper, the lights caught my attention. Then I saw the cool sunglasses, and I was like, "This guy looks pretty freaking cool." So walked right up and started talking. It's all good.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into some actual spooky stuff.
Sure.
Yes.
No one's afraid of Ripper the Clown, but all right, let's get into scary stuff.
Yeah, let's get some people are afraid of. So Brian Ward here is going to share with us some brief little history about one of our Ford County jail. Well, it's the only jail.
The Ford County jail.
Yeah,
yes.
the Ford County jail.
Yes. As far as your supernatural things go, the one that everybody seems to know about up there is the old jail. I don't have my years, but it's turn of the century. Serial killer operated in Ford County. I believe he was from Michigan, but had a victim or two in Gibson City and one or two in Paxton. Killed young females. His name was Frederick Hallman, Hollman. There's been a book or two written by him, or about him as well. And he was incarcerated at the old Ford County jail, and was actually, the death sentence was carried out there in Ford County. He was hung. There seems to be some dispute whether he was hung out on the grounds of the jail or if he was actually hung in the jail. Most people tend to believe he was hung in the jail. And apparently, you know, the final words of Mr. Hallman were, "I will haunt this place forever." Pull the lever, drop the latch, and that's it. So there's been a lot of investigations. Willow Wisp Paranormal is a local paranormal group. They've got YouTube videos and things of that nature of their ghost hunts inside the Ford County jail, and Mr. Hallman has apparently shown himself in a number of different ways to still be at the jail.
Do they have like the full thing uploaded? Like, obviously it's edited, but do they
Correct.
have like from like if you didn't know better, it'd be like a start to finish. Like it's not just like you watch them going through it. Like is that?
I've seen snippets. I have to confess I have not watched a whole long one. They have, I think, 3 or 4, and most of them seem to be in the 5 to 12 minute range.
That's fair.
So
okay.
I think it's a pretty decent sized clip. I know I'm doing the author that recently wrote a book. It's less than 5 years old, I believe. I know I'm doing him a disservice by not having his name ready. I apologize, but it should be relatively easy to find. I know he's on Amazon. I know he did a book signing in Ford County not long ago.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll show right up if you search Ford County Jail.
Yes. Heck, if you just type in Ford County, Illinois serial killer, should be the only one that pops up, I do believe.
Let's hope.
Right.
Yeah.
So that, and now that the new jail, I believe the new jail was built, opened early 1990s, there's still some activity that people have said they've seen, even in the new jail, just because all this happened on the grounds. You know, just doors closing, things you could hear that don't make any sense to be hearing in a newer jail, things of that nature. So, yeah, it's there.
Awesome. I'd love to see. I know we were having a conversation earlier where you had said that one of the teams was supposed to show up, so they unlocked everything. It was late at night, and they ended up just kind of leaving, and you decided to go through and kind of take a tour for yourself.
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting. Brian had noted that the maintenance people would still go in there and obviously make sure that the building is structurally sound.
Exactly.
And, make sure that all the power is going where it needs to. There's no leaks, no damage. The one thing I really like about that is they don't touch the paint on the jail cells. I actually really appreciate that.
Yes,
because they're keeping it, they're letting it age.
Exactly.
And that's what I really like that. They're keeping it up to date, but they're not renovating it and they're not making it new,
Right.
because they already have it.
Right. I mean, the peeling paint and everything else just adds that extra
It's creepy.
cool
Yeah.
element, in my opinion.
It's an aesthetic.
I love it. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, thank you very much for sharing that.
Of course.
We're going to get into a little bit more dark history. We're actually running out of time.
That's my fault.
Fast. No, you're fine. All means that was an awesome supernatural. On our next break here, we're just going to do a little bit rundown of everything we covered with Variety Show, with Ripper the Clown, and another shout out to our awesome performers here that were with us today, and another rundown of Dark History Con if you're not, on a time limit here.
No, not at all.
Awesome. In the meantime, we're going to leave you with some Wallflowers. We got The Difference, My Chemical Romance, we got Sing, and Lights Out by Royal Blood. We will be back shortly before 10 to end our show. If you guys want to call us with any questions, comments, or concerns, you can reach us at 373-3790. We love to hear, and we love to play what you guys want to hear. I am doing requests this whole time. I don't know if Ben stated that, but if you want to put anything in the last minute before we leave, I will gladly take that. In the meantime, here's some music. Keep listening to WPCD 88.7.
Pop goes the culture variety show at Vintage Villains.
88.7 WPCD Champaign. The time is currently 9:59, 9:58. I can't read. I don't know.
No, you're right.
I can read. I can actually read.
You went a little dyslexic. It's okay.
It's fine. Well, I set an angle and there's a glare and...
Yeah, it's an LCD. I get it.
Anyways, you're listening to the actual ending of Rabbit Dog Radio, the only talk show here on 88.7 WPCD and the only college demographic talk show in Champaign-Urbana. I'm Ben Johnston. What was that?
I didn't mean to do it on your name. I meant to do it on the This Is Our Lap, but I
What was
read.
that?
Sorry,
That's
Ben.
so
Sorry,
upsetting
Ben.
for me. Well, that's a little better. I'm still a little hurt,
Does that
though.
make you feel-
Oh, I'm Ben Johnston.
And I'm Austin Pontius.
Goodness gracious, Austin.
We're a mess on this last break.
Yeah, we are. Wow.
I could break out my little sound effect box, and that would work better.
Wow.
You have a little. Oh, is that where that clap is coming from?
Yeah, that was
It was
me.
like throwing me off. I was trying to
Yeah,
figure
that
out
was
where
me.
it was coming from. I was
See, and
like,
like the first time I heard that, I thought it was actually Austin.
No,
doing
it was me.
And I'm like,
no,
wait,
it was
that's
freaking me.
not
That's why I was
Austin.
like looking around because I was like, it's not off mine.
I've got sound boxes.
Wow.
That's a good thing to carry with you.
Yeah, it is.
Along with the horn.
Oh, goodness. All right, so let's recap.
Yeah, so, well, this weekend we got Ripper the Clown's variety show coming up.
That's right, Pop Goes Culture Variety Show at Vintage Villains, downtown Danville, this Saturday, July 22nd. Yep, Shawn will be on the show. You heard his Danville girl song earlier.
Yep.
Doors will open at 7, show will be at 8. Tickets in advance, $8, 10 at the door. We've got 20 performers, well, 19 actually now. Probably 20 by the time the show hits on Saturday.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, fingers crossed. Or you can just yank someone from the crowd and they can go up there and perform for that 20th spot. Everyone will have 4 minutes each, and then the audience will judge overall winners at the end, and they can boot people throughout the show if they so desire. And amazing roster of performers, amazing roster of sponsors, over $1,500 in prizes to be awarded to everyone. It's going to be an amazing night.
Now, I asked Brian this, so I'm going to ask you it, because I haven't asked you it yet. I'm kind of mad I haven't asked you that yet. What are you most excited for in the variety show? What are you looking for? Who's it? I don't mean to put you on the spot and like, you know, pick sides, but like just out of curiosity, I'd like to know who you're rooting for, if that's even.
You know,
like,
I
possible.
can't, because everyone on the show, I know them personally to some degree or another, some closer than others. They're all amazing performers. So how I always answer that, same thing with comedy show. Who are you looking forward to seeing? You know, I can't pick sides, so I just say I'm looking forward to my performance.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's a good answer.
In this instance, my hosting and that type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I would have
solid.
been, you know, the sarcastic guy and would have been like, oh, the variety.
But I will say this, what I look forward to at the variety show is when we hand out the prizes. That to me is a blast. I feel like Bozo on the grand prize game. You're like, you won $50 bill and a Schwinn bike. Here are your prizes. Cookie, bring up the next contestant. It's amazing giving out those prizes. It's so much fun, and so much fun hearing the audience reaction and seeing the contestants. And again, I know most of these people, so when they win something, I'm happy for them. I want them to, you know, I'm proud of them in that moment, and that's the way it's been with all these shows. That's the part of the show that I really love.
And Ripper's been doing this for a while now. His shows are awesomely produced, very
thank
well
you.
put together. I was very impressed with Brouhaha 5. I loved it.
Thank you.
I'm mad that was the first Brouhaha that I went to.
You know, I put a lot of my heart and soul in this, and I know Brian does the same thing with Dark History Con. I put a lot of myself in this. It's weeks and weeks and weeks preparation, making sure that everything goes right, making sure we've got great prizes, just, you know, putting a show together. It's very hard work. A lot of people don't understand what type of work goes into it. But the thing is, before I started doing shows, I saw a lot of bad shows, and I saw a lot of bad things happen at shows where they were all like, and I took those in and I digested them like, okay, when I started doing shows, I want to avoid that type of thing. And so, you know, every show, once in a while, you'll hit a snag or two, and we've had a few snags at my shows once in a while, but I like to go in prepared to make sure that I avoid those things that I saw so many bad shows doing repeatedly.
Right.
Even with the, you know, couple hours that we've only been talking to you guys for, you know, it's very easy to see the dedication, and, you know, that makes me excited. Even if I couldn't attend, it makes me excited to actually, you know, see.
Oh, you'd be missing out, Ben.
Oh,
I'm telling you right
I know
now,
I
you'd
would be.
missing
I
out.
know. I'm gonna try. I don't know my schedule. My schedule is always a little questionable.
Just like
but
everywhere,
nonetheless,
cross our fingers.
yes, cross your fingers.
Yes.
But it's amazing to see, you know, the dedication you guys are actually putting into this, and I think that you guys should, you know, get a round of applause for that at least. So.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll clap.
Sorry, that's short.
And it feels good to hear those words because, you know, a lot of times you don't get that type of response.
No.
And
Unfortunately, yeah, I mean, the exact same way as Ripper. I mean, I hadn't been to a ton of shows, but the few that I had been to, I was just like, you know, I'd rather have that connection with everybody. I want everybody to be happy. I don't want to, well, these guys are the big stars of the show, so they need better. No, everybody should have the same treatment, and everybody should enjoy themselves on the same level, I think. I think it's what's gotten me heading into year 4 myself, so that's what's gotten me this far. That's what keeps me going. And like Ripper said, the sleepless nights, the logistical headaches, all this other stuff nobody understands or knows. And then, you know, some people come, hey, why don't you get Kane Hodder's a big name that I hear, you know, Jason. Can you get Kane Hodder? Kane Hodder's guarantees $8,000. I mean, he has to make $8,000. Or you're paying him.
Right.
So
his time is valuable.
Right.
I mean,
you know, I told a few people that this year. Wow, really? Now you see what I'm working with, guys. I mean, that gives you just a hint. And with what Ripper puts together, I don't even know. I mean, I'm sure it's more labor intensive than mine is. Mine's calling up a few people. Hey, here's what I do. You guys want to be a part? And you got to put together.
I mean, I've seen the maps that you've been drawing. I've been seeing
Hence the line or the stick figure comment earlier. Yeah.
Brian's been stressfully releasing these maps through a secret group with us through the vendors and whatnot to keep everybody organized so everybody knows where they're going. And he did a very beautiful job. Each block has a number in it that corresponds with said vendor, so it's very easy to read. It's just funny to look at. I get notifications every time you post one, so it alerts me, and I'll look at it and be like, oh, okay, so it's like a big square with a bunch of little ones, and we got it.
And credit where it's due. That's my lovely and talented artistic daughter, Cheyenne. That the really good-looking one that you're talking about, that one's hers. That crappy little blocky one that came out yesterday.
I would say the most recent. Well, no, I guess it wouldn't be the most. Yeah, the one that. You knew what
This shows the hall and the scribbles and the straws.
That's you, yeah. Which, speaking of which, the Dark History Con, if you want to go see it, it's going to be awesome. It's the last Friday and Saturday in July. It'll be July 28th and 29th. Correct. It is 11 to 9. 11 to 9 on Saturday, 1 to 9 on Friday. There is a bar, and there's going to be food there as well because it is in the hotel. So 9 o'clock's the official door closed, but stay as late as you want. And this is at the Wyndham Garden Hotel. Yes. In Urbana, they still special room rates through the 21st, $89 a night plus tax. You just got to mention you're part of the group. Really? Stay there. Yep. They're keeping the hot tub and the pool open until midnight for our group. Cool. Wow. 24-hour fitness, little fitness room on there. So the perks are many. Oh yeah, and especially the lineup that both of you guys have at the variety show and at the Dark History and Horror Convention. I mean, those are two awesome lineups, and I don't know if I'll be able to. I'm gonna try and go to the variety show. I believe I work overnights this weekend. I will for sure be at Dark History and Horror Convention. Excellent. I would like to go to the variety show because that looks awesome as well.
It's going to be a good night. If you can make it, definitely break away.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna try very hard. Yeah. It's gonna be awesome. Delegate.
And I'd also like to plug real quick, the Saturday Morning Summer Sounds and Farmers Market. Downtown Danville. New farmers market that I teamed up with DDI, Downtown Danville Inc., Cafe 13, and Dust and Danger to form a new farmers market with an artistic slant, a music slant. Every week we have musicians performing. Musicians just show up, they jam. It's from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Saturday through September 30th. And something that we didn't mention earlier is it's totally free for vendors to set up.
Wow.
So
really?
Yes. Yeah. And so that's kind of rare to have a market that does. It's free for vendors. Most of them charge. I think the Urbana is like $25 a week, I believe. And so I wanted to do something really nice for vendors because I know how it feels to be on that end of the spectrum, and I know how much some places charge for vendors. And it takes a lot to make that money back sometimes, and I've talked to a lot of vendors who do events and they just don't make the money back. So even if it was just a small amount that we were going to charge, I still didn't want to do that because I just wanted to give vendors the opportunity to set up somewhere for free.
And promote themselves.
Yes.
Grow as an artist or vendor, whatever their product they're into.
Yep. So anyone who's interested in setting up, it's free, so just hit me up on Facebook or look up the event page and drop me an email or give me a post and I'll send you all the info because we'd love to have you as long as you make it yourself or you bake it yourself, you're welcome.
Awesome, cool.
And for somebody that's not, I don't know Danville that well, that's in a parking lot area,
It's in
kind
a
of like
par-
your banner? Or?
It's in a park area right across from Cafe 13.
Oh, okay.
So it's a beautiful area. We're on the grass. There's a great, just in the heart of downtown Danville. Great
Awesome.
Visuals everywhere you look, and it's very scenic there where we're at.
Awesome.
Cool. And Shawn has performed there. Shawn performed
Yeah.
Danville
Yeah.
Girl a couple
Danville
weeks
Girl.
ago.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys
Yeah.
very much for joining us tonight.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you guys.
Thank you very much for
Everybody,
having us.
look forward to the variety show. That's this weekend.
Yep.
Dark History and Horror Convention, the last weekend of July, July 28th and 29th. I also want to give a shout out to Reece and Shawn here for giving an awesome performances.
They
for
did.
us.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you guys.
It's been an honor.
We're going to leave you guys with some Smashing Pumpkins. I hope everybody gets home safe, and yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Pop goes the culture variety show at Vintage Villains.